Hi, I love watching slop, and I also like complaining. This video is my magnum opus of everything I've ever loved. I just wanna feel happy as can be.
A human head.
The big trend on YouTube are these body cam videos, but I also include confession videos and some other kind of loosely connected stuff in this conversation because, I don't know, sue me, and then make a video about it pretending to be a detective.
Jeez. Could she be more cringy?
This genre was kind of pioneered by JCS about 3 years ago. They released these extremely popular videos. You've probably watched them because, you know, they're actually executed very well. But in the wake of them, there's channels like Explore With Us or EWU. And I don't want to get into their full history, especially how they used to upload abandoned house tours. But they're just a giant fucking kingpin in this operation. Look at all these channels. Explore With Us. EW Crime Story Time, EW Crime Vault, EW History, EW Spanish, EW Portuguese, EW Crew.
Could she be more cringy?
Basically, their whole gimmick is taking public footage of police cases like body cam footage, interrogation footage, court footage. There's more foot and age than a video about Dan Schneider. I'm sorry. And then they put the serious narrator guy over it.
In an eerie coincidence, on one of his social media accounts, Brian identifies himself as that stinky boy.
They always list the people who have analyzed the video, but then just start listing shit the criminal might be thinking because they rub their head or something. It's always a self-soothing method.
He starts to cry, but if you're wondering if he's actually upset, notice that he gets distracted and has to brush his hair out of his face.
It feels like it's always jumping to conclusions because there's not actually that much to say over this fucking 3-hour-long confession video. And even then, there's still barely any commentary. I have this problem with a lot of documentaries on YouTube where like 10% will be commentary and then 110% is like archive footage. I don't even know how the fuck that works. There's so many of these Daniel Larson videos from these like fucking lolcow channels I love watching, and they always just play these Daniel Larson like long ass clips. I clicked on the video to get a summary. I don't need to see the Daniel Larson fucking haircut incident again.
My inspiration behind this haircut, I wanted it to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger got struck by lightning, just like Albert Einstein.
Not to mention, it's just kind of lazy. Like, I know why you do it. It's not for documentation purposes. I probably sound nitpicky as fuck, because I am, but it is a big turnoff with these videos. Especially when the subject matter isn't really interesting or thrilling and more just sad and depressing. A lot of these thumbnails are very funny. The funniest focus on the villains of the situation and put them in a bad light, but then they want to spice it up and it just becomes weird and wrong. When a mom discovers her son's horrifying secret, oh, don't tell mom. No parents, no rules. My mom's gonna kill me for this. Is the poor mom in this situation really the most interesting thing going on? They do this a lot where they will just show like the worst case of grieving and shock in these thumbnails, and it just comes off as kind of gross and manipulative. The worst channel in this case is the Misery Machine. I almost don't want to show these in my funny little video, but the titles won't be like the case of evil Mr. Bones. Instead, front and center, it's pictures of the victims and like the horrifying ways they died. I know that these stories are important and the awful things should not be swept under the rug, and I also don't really agree with YouTube censorship, but I also don't really think these are being done with the most respect.
This week's episode has been brought to you by Murder by Choice, a fully interactive murder mystery adventure set on a tropical island in modern time. This week's episode has been brought to you by Love and Pies, a free-to-play merge-to mobile game that delivers an experience that rivals the excitement of a gripping TV series or a page-turning book.
This week's episode has been brought to you by Lots of Slots, a free-to-play mobile slots game that you can play anywhere and anytime.
When you cut from your story about the worst trauma a human can experience to your shitty like casino slot game on the App Store now, Next, I just want to talk about the straight up slop. The videos that compile a bunch of arrests and try to muster up some theme. My genuine favorite video here is when cops face overpowered weapons.
Long story short, don't piss off a man who's got nothing left to lose.
This video is just fun. Like, there's not a lot of serious cases being covered. It's mostly crackheads who like to steal cars, and sometimes you actually learn more information than just what you see in the footage. One of my favorites is where this cop is trying to get like a little fucking tractor thing, and there's like funny montage music over it. It sounds like they're about to play like fucking Sneaky Snitch over it. At some point, he starts jumping on it and like in front of it and screaming that he's getting ran over. It reads like an episode of Ed, Ed and Eddie. But most of these videos just show like the worst shit imaginable. And like, I don't even know how they're monetized. I'm not saying they shouldn't. Sometimes. But hey, that's just me. But what I think is actually bad is the thumbnails. You got channels named shit like Code Detective Bodycam or some shit where it's just this.
Jeez. Can she be more cringy?
And the thumbnails are so fucking stupid and funny. They always edit guns into them. But then I see ones where they edit in actual children. Like, this never happened in the actual footage. That's edited in. That's not fucking good. Most of the time it's just clickbait shit where they're saying shit that was never said anywhere during the video, and it's just weird, man. The worst I've seen is this thumbnail where they just make up a scenario that never happened. This guy never says this, and he's not hijacking a plane. He was on a train.
That only made Cody even more erratic. And then he said something to the officers that no one could have expected.
Police car, come on now! I will cut you! I'm a suicide bomber!
And then there's videos like when suspects try to seduce cops, and she's like, what if I did this? And it's by fucking Binge Central. Okay. By the way, this never fucking happens in the video. I have no idea what relation this woman has to this video. This is like if I made a video called, watch out, this woman is a fucking scumbag criminal, and then I just used a picture of a random woman I took on the street. These channels start cannibalizing each other and ripping each other off. It's kind of insane. What about this one where the thumbnail shows a completely unrelated guy when cops rescue boyfriends from evil girlfriends? I couldn't escape her. This guy actually got arrested for trespassing in some random neighborhood. His arrest had nothing to do with some evil girlfriend. It doesn't even make sense as a thumbnail. Why would he be in handcuffs? Why didn't they just use a screenshot that actually made sense? What the fuck is happening? All right, I just want to add a little bit here. I found this channel called Detective Williams. The description is very interesting. Let's just read this here. A retired detective who doesn't like the current state of policing, looking over interrogations and body cam footage. How much do you want to bet that this man is a real detective?
Being a police officer isn't an easy job, as they're often exposed to all sorts of threats and danger, in today's case, fentanyl.
And then immediately I looked at the newest video, and what's that?
Bingo.
You fucking stole the stupid... You stole that guy's thumbnail. The thumbnail's fucking wrong. That's some random guy. Maybe I'm the real fucking detective. I'm the one who found where this is from. Here's another one with the same idea. This time the thumbnail is way worse. Now, maybe if this did actually happen, at least this would be kind of understandable. But no, it never fucking did. This man never says this in the video. He's not even in the video. Again, this is just some unrelated guy that they edited a bruise onto and painted him as a sexual assault victim. That's fucked, right? I feel like I'm going insane as I see more and more of these. Even if this guy was a victim in this video, I doubt he would want his face plastered on it. I really question videos that have titles like, stupid kids think that they can avoid cops shooting them. Like, no doubt, no matter the age, people can do really bad things, but sometimes they pad them out with these like really small crimes committed by teenagers, and it's like, I don't know if anyone involved would agree that posting this for everyone to see would be the best course of action. Hopefully I can find this one, but there was one where it was just like this teenager getting a citation because he had a gun in his car, and then the video was like top 10 school shooters that were proved wrong in court, and it was like the guy just kept going like, oh, look at this fucking school shooter. I'm glad I'm glad the cops got him.
The officer presses him on this by asking him if he brought the gun to school. And Nolan, of course, says no.
This genre is so weird to me. I almost want to call it disrespectful. This is kind of in the same group of true crime, but this video really pisses me off. Duck ED reacts to the Junko Furuta case. It's the shitty upload of a stream where this guy watches a video explaining one of the worst cases in Japan about a girl who was tortured and killed, and he's going in like full pog on the thumbnail. His chat is telling him to turn it off, and all that he adds is this.
And attracted a lot of attention, which made some people jealous.
Oh no.
She didn't.
He's just going like, yep, that's bad. Of course it's fucking bad! At least the original video was educational in some way. You already streamed your reaction. Do you really need to then upload that to YouTube for more money? It feels ghoulish and inhuman. Maybe he meant well or something, but you gotta realize this helps no one but yourself. And I keep seeing reaction videos like these. What is this? Watching the worst car crashes because I like to suffer. Oh, I like to suffer. Apparently I do too. This is like that one Germa joke where people keep saying he loves watching car crash compilations, but it's just real. I don't even really have an ending to this. It's just these videos I notice are getting worse. A majority of them are entertaining because of course they are. There are these wild things happening, but a few are just not handled well at all. Yeah, I think it's kind of weird when there's this whole genre on YouTube about investigating grisly murders and crimes when the person uploading them is not professional in the slightest and they just LARP as a fucking detective. Now, there are plenty of good channels that don't do this clickbait shit. EWU, mostly. There's this channel called Haunted Autopsy, which sounds like a shitty slop channel like fucking Dr. Insanity.
It's the mad scientist's dream.
But no, they actually make these really well-researched documentaries with a lot of background information and like maps showing exactly what took place where. I don't know, it's just weird. I feel like the best thing these videos do is just shed some light on some cases and show like police corruption, but other than that, that's really it.
Can she be more cringy?
Am I clear on that?
12 is very old. I was looking for a 6-year-old.
All right, that's disturbing.